everyone, and welcome to the video. Today we are going to be talking about menopause and Bible study. I know, right? What do the two have to do with each other? Well, stay tuned, you're about to find out. So menopause and Bible study, what do they have to do with each other? Well, ladies, it's all part of aging. All of us go through the aging process, no matter who we are, but sometimes our symptoms are drastically different from one another. One of those symptoms I'm going to be addressing here is brain fog. So what is brain fog? Brain fog is when you lose focus, you lose a sense of concentration, you just have a tougher time really focusing in on stuff. You tend to forget things more often. I know me, if I'm downstairs and I can forget something by the time I get upstairs. And it's just a real part of menopause for me. Everyone is different. Your symptoms might be significantly different from mine, but brain fog is one that, from at least the women I've spoken to, tends to be a pretty common one. And that's what we're going to be addressing today, is brain fog and how it affects how you read and how it affects how you study the Bible, or how you study anything really. But first, I do want to get into a little bit of housekeeping. I do want to say that I am not a doctor. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a psychologist. I am not a counselor. If you don't know for a fact that your brain fog, that your lack of focus, your memory problems is tied to menopause, if you have not had a doctor confirm that, please go see a doctor, because there can be other issues that can cause those symptoms, and I would not want anybody to make the assumption that it's menopause related. I'm speaking in this video specifically to women who know that the brain fog that they experience is due to menopause. So for instance, when I first started to experience these symptoms, it was coupled with a little bit of dizziness. So I went to my doctor and they did a full neurological workup. They did CAT scans, MRIs, you name it. And they determined that everything was fine. And that's when we determined that I was in fact going through menopausal symptoms, and this was just part of those symptoms. So please go see your doctor. So that being said, let's move on. So I've never had a problem with studying before, with focus, with memory, any of those things. I used to actually be able to sit down at my dining room table for hours and study the Bible without any problem whatsoever. And that pretty much changed over the last several years. It was probably up until my late 40s that I was able to do that. And in fact, I was actually going to college for nursing, and I could sit and memorize all the bones in the human body without a problem. I couldn't do that now. And so brain fog has really, really changed how I've had to approach things like Bible study. Because I do spend a lot of time, especially for my blog, I do spend a lot of time doing study. So I've had to adjust how I do things to accommodate the fact that I am now going through this. And I may not go through this forever. It may not be the rest of my life that I have this. Some menopausal symptoms, like hot flashes, may only last for a certain time. But I've had to make adjustments in how I do things for the time being. So what can you do when you try to sit down and even read a chapter and you can't seem to get through it without squirreling all over the place? I'm going to share with you 7 different strategies that I have, or actually I shouldn't say that they're 7 different strategies. They're really one strategy with 7 steps. So let's go through those steps together. Step 1, acceptance. Accept that this is the stage that you are at in your life. Accept that you're going to have to make some changes to accommodate this new stage. Accept that this is who God created you to be at this moment in time. We have to accept that we're no longer 20 or 30, and if you are 20 or 30 and you're watching this, you're going to go through it too. But accept who this is God made you at this stage in your life. And once we accept this and know that this is what we're dealing with, then we can move on to finding ways that we can work around it. Step 2, accept that you're going to have to change the way you study, and that's okay. You may have to move your study location to another part of the house. You may have to do things a different way, and there's nothing wrong with that. So once you accept that you may have to make these changes to your actual study habits, not just accepting the phase that you're at as in step 1, but accepting the fact that you may not be able to keep studying in a certain location in your house and so on, it's going to make things a little bit easier for you. Step 3, eliminate distractions. We all have those squirrel moments, and the more that we can eliminate them, the better off we're going to be. Do not try to rely on your own willpower. It doesn't work. If you're distracted by the TV or music, shut it off. If you're distracted by Susan walking her dog down the street, close the blinds. Eliminate any and all distractions. Shut off your phone. Do everything that you can to not get your mind pulled away from what you're working on. Number 4, break it up into small pieces. If you're getting too distracted and you're losing focus, take a walk away, take a break. Go for a walk, make a cup of coffee, break it up into smaller chunks. I know my brain gets overwhelmed when I have too much going on at once, so break it up into little pieces. Step 5, cut yourself some slack. Don't be so hard on yourself. This is where we're at. This is what we're going to have to deal with. Show yourself the same grace that you show other people. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's just where we are in life, and it's not necessarily a life sentence. Number 6, pray. The enemy loves to use brain fog to keep us from studying. He loves to use the distractions. So take it to God in prayer before you sit down to study. Ask Him for His help, and He will absolutely give it. Step number 7, implement study methods. I'm going to provide you with an affiliate link down below in the description to Arabah Joy's Bible Study Methods, 7 Ways in 7 Days. This Bible study course changed the way I do Bible study. There are 7 different methods that you can try and find the one that works best for you. For instance, there's verse mapping, and I find that really helps for me because I can take one verse at a time, break it up, research words. It gets my brain working on different things so that it doesn't like just tone out. So I'm going to provide that in the description box below for you. So those are 7 steps that you can implement today to help your Bible study. I really hope you found this helpful. Please subscribe to my channel and bear with me as I work through this whole new thing of YouTube, and I'm sure my videos are going to be pretty wonky at first, but just bear with me. So please subscribe. My blog is going to be linked below with some other posts that you might enjoy, and I appreciate you watching, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.